when the White Wolf fought a silver-tongued devil. His army of elves at his hooves did they revel. They came after me with masterful deceit. They broke down my loot and they kicked in my teeth, while the devil's horns minced our tender meat. And so cried the Witcher, he can't be bleed. Toss a coin to your Witcher, oh Valley of Plenty, oh Valley of Plenty, oh. Toss a coin to your Witcher, oh Valley of Plenty. The edge of the world, fight the mighty horde that bashes and breaks you and brings you the morn. He thrust every yoke far back on the shelf, high up on the mountain from whence it came.
Well, hello everybody, and welcome to a little Wednesday Witcher action here on Tales from the Grim. We have a lot to get to tonight, a lot of fun things to be had, a lot of tales to be told, so I will not take too much of our time, but there's a couple things I would like to mention. One, we are here to tell a story. Why can we be here? How can we be here, you ask? Because of the benevolent sponsors that we have. Right now, actually, we are holding a PDF giveaway by Tabletop Games. If you would like a PDF copy of the core rulebook of Witcher for yourself, I'm going to be firing that up right now. Please type !PDF in the chat and you will be entered. Also, if you are watching on YouTube, go down to the comment section, leave us a nice comment, and let us know that you too would like to be entered to win the Witcher PDF. And on our next live show, after reading your comment, I will enter you and give you equal chance to win. Just make sure I have your contact information, or you check YouTube in case I contact you through there. In addition to our Tabletop Games generous donation of a PDF, we also are here because of our virtual tabletop of choice, Roll20. Go to www.roll20.net/start/tales from the Grim, and you can start your very own free account where, if you have been separated from your normal table by social distancing or sheltering in place, the stories can continue. Log on now and you can tell the cipher system, Witcher, Dungeons and Dragons, or Cthulhu, whatever you were playing will be represented on Roll20. Be sure to join and continue your tale. And finally, our very new and our very latest sponsor is World Anvil. World Anvil, where you can go if you are a writer, dungeon master, player, or simply have a world that's been knocking around inside your noodle and needs to get out. World Anvil allows you to build your world in as detailed a format as you would like. Maps, articles, characters, NPCs, put it all together in your own world wiki, and World Anvil will forge it for you. And then you can invite your friends, invite your players, invite anybody that happens to be watching or interested in the campaign to the world to see exactly what it is and contribute as they would like. But that was then, and this is now. Now it's time to tell a story. If you would like to take an active interest or a starring role in our tale as it is, you can look straight down and see that there are immediate narrative effects that you can give. Healing, bonuses for the players, bonuses for me to make things more difficult. All of those are represented down below by our donations. And as a reminder, all donations on Tales from the Grim go 100% equally to all members of the cast. So if you donate, you are donating to the lovely players and the characters that they represent. And finally, as you sit back, enjoy, hopefully, our show, if you would like to retweet our going live tweet, that is the easiest way to get the word out. Let people know that we are playing a game here in our Tabletop Games Witcher. Have them join us, sit back, relax, talk. Forget about the real world for a bit. The Witcher can be dark and full of terrors, but I dare say it might be a little bit better than the one we have to walk around in the rest of the day. But That is then, and let's bring in our players so we can set the scene and continue to tell our tale for episode 21, 100 Steps. That's it, Plum. The Witcher isn't real. It can be. It's as real as you'd like it to be. But as I bring in everybody else, welcome everyone to this lovely cast. We're going to go around, and as the characters organically are put into the scene, just remind us of who you're playing. But the first part will be mine here, as I simply recap what's going on. The party's split right now. Dusa is away from the other four, but the other four are on the patio of a grand villa overlooking the ocean in the town of Bremervord here in Sidaris. But as they look over this formerly lovely area, what was a pleasant beachside 72 degrees has now chilled considerably. The ocean itself is frozen. 4 riders are approaching atop the now solid waves. But even that miraculous, eerie, overwhelming sight pales in comparison to the over 40-foot tall Cyclops that is rampaging towards the villa. This Cyclops has just breached the shore. It is crashing through a marble fixture that is acting as an artificial tide pool, but now more skating rink than tidal pool. It is breaking through, grabbing marble and ripping columns out of its way as it progresses towards the villa. On the patio, in various states of injury or unrest, we have 4 members. Aim for the mage, Wim and Eris, the Gesso brothers, who are witchers, and our healer, Yannicka, who is currently 78 steps away from death. In our last episode, a promise was made that within 100 steps, Yannicka would die. She was able to, with economy, use only 22 steps to get to this point. She has 78 left. And before we get to JF and Dusa, we have a brief moment here on the patio as this incredible scene is playing out before these incredible characters. But I will ask the players behind the eyes of the characters, you have a brief moment, a brief beat. What do you all do?
Infra just yells, run inside, open the portal inside. Because we don't have our horses here. And there's no way we're outrunning them that on foot.
Wim wants to ask, can you locate a place of power around here?
Greg?
Yes.
Would I know a place of power around here? I mean, I've spent effectively the last 80 years in and around Sidaris for extended periods of time.
Places of power don't appear on any map that you are aware of. And here in Sidaris, being as flat and open as it is, as most like seashore side areas would happen to be, I'll let you roll a history. But
Okay.
it's a bit tough.
Okay. His education?
Oh, education, I'm sorry, yes. And everybody, you have 2. We have Swallow for All and 2 silvers from Hawkeye and Katrina. Thank you very much, friends. That will go quite some way to help everyone. And for everybody donating, how do you like that silver? Gives an immediate +2 to every roll for the player for the session. We have 2 out of a possible 3, which means the players all get +4.
27.
You don't know of any around this area.
Mm-hmm.
That's not to say there isn't any, you just don't know of any.
Okay.
You do know, and I'll let you know this too, any of them that are found are likely to be destroyed, especially with the current political climate in this area of the world, being close to Redania Any elements that could potentially aid magic users have been either defiled or knocked asunder. It is part of the scorched earth policy of some of the humanoids. Yeah.
Not when I know off the top of my head, and not when we have before they get here. We can't stay here.
Okay, and with that, can't stay here. The two of you are done your dialogue as we go to Eris and Yannicka. The two of you, you have a moment.
Well, Yannicka was last laughing hysterically as she was being, like, reverse catapulted up onto the balcony and then stuck the landing. So I think she'd be, like, coming off of that laughter and wiping some tears from her eyes. She was laughing so hard, and she doesn't laugh often, so...
Okay,
and she'd look over at Eris and just be like, 78. I have 78 steps left.
Eris is entirely checked out. Right now, he is no longer here on the balcony. In his mind, he is in an underground room, thinking how antsy he is and how badly he wants to get back out there and practice with his blades. And he is in a lesson being taught by his mentor, and he is looking at books about monsters. And while that isn't unusual for a Witcher, the books that he read about had a lot to do with what he's currently looking at. So he just kind of stands there, frozen in fear for a few moments. Just the shock.
Well, as fate would have it, as the Witcher who remembers his studies looks towards this almost, well, unbelievable scene, your focus drawn, if your stories and at the end of the last episode is to be correct, Josh, and I'm not taking agency, probably drawn towards the 4 riders that are approaching and the frozen ocean. You still see the beheaded form of the mermaid kind of pulling back in the distance of the frozen ocean, the one that these riders had attacked at the end of last episode. But out of your periphery, and as the others were speaking, none of them, because of your pre-rolled awareness checks, saw the loping column that was thrown into the air 100 feet high and has begun to descend on your very position. You may all roll for me dodge escape rolls, and Josh, you may do so at a +5.
$22.
36 with a crit success. So it takes as few steps as possible to escape this.
Oh, I've got something for you.
Oh no.
Okay, so let's see. What did everybody get? Let's see. A dodge of a 29 for Wim, 22 for Ainfra. Look at that. Lord Almighty, a 35. You are all able to get away from this massive pillar as it smashes and crashes into the villa. And as it breaks in and crashes in, splintering, let's just do this because it's fun. Everybody that rolled an even dodge escape roll, raise your hand. And the brothers rolled an odd dodge escape roll. Eris and Wim, as this massive pillar crashes to the ground, The two of you are thrown to the left of the patio. Ainfra and Yannicka, you are thrown to the right. Yannicka, roll me a d4.
Oh, fuck.
So, with an economy of only 4 steps, you are able to dance away from this pillar. But as it smashes down, it takes the middle of the patio with it as a 15 to 20 foot gap erupts. Half of the house, of the room, the solarium where you exited from, is smashed by this pillar. You see gaping holes rent in what used to be solid structures of crystal and glass, but these shards splinter and spray everywhere, much like the frozen sea did mere moments before. But as this crashes down, the patio loses its integrity, both from the approach of the Cyclops and the now sundered center that was supporting this patio. And so as the two groups look at one another, Ainfra and Yannicka across the 20-foot expanse to Eris and Wim, you all feel the patio begin to give. I need actions from you all.
So how far away is Eris from Wim in this new deck cataclysm?
You all are within probably 20 feet of each other. You were very close before, so I would say maybe even a little bit more than that, 10 feet away from one another.
Okay. Wim will approach Eris, still holding all of the things, and shove the box that was carrying the painting at Eris. I'll explain later. You want to hold on to this. It's of tears.
What?
Let's move.
Fuck. And we're gonna try and get inside, suppose. Like, I don't think we have any other moves.
Right, the exit itself has been crushed by the pillar, but because so much of the glass is shattered out of the solarium, entrance into the room now can be obtained through the broken windows.
Well, I feel like, it's not a competition between the two of us.
Never.
But at the same time, what kind of role would it be?
It's not a competition. If I'm hearing this right, Josh, let me finish this. It's not a competition, but what role could you both roll to see who gets in there easier and better? Is that what it is?
Is a dodge/escape? Would escape from this this falling situation, would that be a suitable role, or would
absolutely,
it be
yeah. You can do an athletics. You can do a dodge escape is very something you can absolutely use here because this is the catch-all for any type of danger evasion. So,
okay. So hearing that and kind of snapping back to it, realizing that shit is literally the ground is literally falling out. He will grab the box and he's going to try and sort of like dive headfirst through the window, one arm sort of shielding his head, the other arm wrapped around the box to sort of like hold it to his torso.
Absolutely, yes. So roll me a dodge escape or an athletics if you so desire. Wim, you may do the same if you are Amscray.
So yeah, if we're running back to that area, what I want to do in the time it takes to get there, trying to concentrate on the task at hand, I want to take the pop open the box with the glove, throw off my gauntlet, and put that one on.
Okay. You can do all of this depending upon how well you roll your dodge escape. We'll just lump it all together.
Lumpy. 31.
Okay, yeah, so you are both able to get in there, but Eris does it with the judges were watching, One of them would just favor Eris's performance. It was just a matter of personal preference as the scores
It was
go.
the Russian judge, wasn't it?
It was
always the Russian judge.
We're not going to name,
Yeah.
but yes, it was. No,
It was probably also less heavy breathing at the end of the routine.
Well, it was also that as they hold up their scorecards, as the balcony they're standing on just collapses and they all fall into the ocean. So, you know.
right. But much like the band of the Titanic, they had to get that last creative expression out, and their praise for Eris by just a smidge. As the two of you jump into the former solarium of the villa, Ainfra and Yannicka, I need actions from the two of you.
Ainfra just reaches out a hand negligently, and Frostfang is in it as she lifts her other hand, and maybe 20 feet in front of her, inside the solarium, a portal opens to the house, and she shouts as loud as she can, "We can't run without horses. Get out." Hoping that the other two can see the portal is there.
It's in front of you in the solarium, yes.
Okay, then yes. She's grabbing that and reaching kind of down to Yannicka to try and help pull her up as she...
Yeah,
tries to run.
Yannicka will take it. Yeah, you notice she's not keen on running. She seems to be very deliberate about where she's putting her feet, and not out of fear of broken glass or anything.
Okay, so if your action is to cast portal, then Yannicka, what are you doing?
I will. So the portal's 20 feet in front of us into the
solarium, the former
Okay.
rent solarium now.
Cool, and yeah, and that's where the portal exits, or is that where the portal enters?
That's the entrance to the portal, to her
Okay.
house.
Okay. How many steps is 20 feet?
Divide by 3.
Divide by 3.
6.
No. Yeah. Okay. I think she's
Can I,
so there's like
just see her going slowly and just kind of half lift drag her?
In the heat of battle here, I will allow Yannicka to perform. You can absolutely. You're casting though. This is kind of like a simultaneous thing. As you're casting and taking your turn to do
I
that.
see the portal opening, I'll go towards it. What I'd like to do, Greg, is you said we're on the thing and it's collapsing. The windows, are they floor to ceiling windows, or are they? Is there like a lip? Are they like knee high? How tall? How are these windows?
The solarium was made entirely of glass, so it was floor to ceiling and then curved up over
Okay.
the top. So
I'm a roll to the portal.
you're gonna roll to the portal.
Yes, Greg. I'm
Okay,
going to roll to the portal.
sure.
Do a barrel roll.
Roll me an athletics.
I gave myself a point in that. Spent some of my IP after the shenanigans I pulled last week. I was like, I think she's getting a little better at it.
That's a good idea. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, I know I'm rolling through broken glass, but I'm less concerned about that than I am stepping. So, let's see. 14.
Okay. You begin the roll, and as you are rolling, Ainfra
Yes.
would probably, even inside the casting, notice that you are drifting. Much like a child that starts rolling down a hill with the intent of rolling straight down the hill, and then kind of like an X-wing shot kind of spirals out of control. You begin doing that as you kind of creep
That's
over
fine.
to the right-hand side. You do not make it to the solarium as you kind of come to a stop and rest. Roll me a d4.
2.
Economy of movement, you have 72 steps left, my friend.
Rude.
As you
Rolling
are
shouldn't
still
count.
as you are still outside of the solarium, I will now need a dodge escape from Ainfra and a dodge escape from Yannicka, please.
That's fine. dodge escape straight into the solarium. Go, Reg. Oh no. Okay.
18! 18!
18. 18's not bad.
18! 18's not
Double
bad.
nat ones in this are actually not as bad as they are in anything else.
This is true. Yeah, I still get it.
You take 17 damage as a piece of marble clips the back of your head. I need you to make a stun save as the Cyclops approaches.
Oh no.
For some reason it's off, but it's a 4, so it's under my 8 that I needed.
Okay. So you're able to shake it off as blood kind of sprays around your outfit, your own, as it decorates your shoulders in perhaps not the style of the day. But let's see, as with a 27, as you dodge out of the way, roll me another d4. This, we'll say it carries you
solarium?
right to the solarium's edge.
Okay. 4. Roll worse, D4.
You should be lucky you're rolling good on your dodge escapes. It gets progressively awful. But no, you're able to, with 4 steps, get yourself to the solarium's
68.
edge.
That's fine.
And as you kind of stop and look back over your shoulders, you're going to pull the solarium. You see the Cyclops. You see a fist coming in towards the back of the mage. But that's where we'll cut away right now.
Okay.
As we go to JF. JF, Dusa was deep inside the villa. And at the end of the last episode, he ended up fighting off several Nilfgaardian knights, or they appeared to be Nilfgaardian knights. Upon further inspection, they were Dopplers. But with incredible skill, the Witcher known as Dusa, or just the Knight now, dispatched these imposters. However, at the end, inside the courtyard of the villa, an ancient oak was split asunder by the swelling of frost and ice, and from this natural portal that appeared, a large armored figure wearing a crown of frost emerged. Both you and perhaps the only honest Nilfgaardian of the group that you encountered, a Commander Fofri, the two of you suffered an explosion of ice and frost so bitter it flash froze the inside of your nose and mouth, causing damage of a bitter cold nature. And as all of this has gone on, you were able to grab Commander Fofri and retrace your steps through the villa. As you stepped 10, 15, 20 feet, going back in the direction from whence you came, a terrible sound rips the roof above you. I would like you to roll me a dodge escape.
Oh, okay. All right. Shouldn't be a problem. See here.
Thank you for the donations, everybody.
Dodge escape. Here we go. 25.
25. As the ceiling gives way and a large piece of marble comes crashing through to the floor at your feet, as soon as it hits the hard wood of this area, this kind of intimate area of the villa, the wood shatters, already flash frozen by this incredible cold that you experienced. It breaks like a reed, a pencil. It shatters and splinters, and as it drops in more bits of ice than bits of wood, you see Commander Fofri fall into the hole that is created. She scrambles, help, help! As she falls in, you see and hear her scream, and you hear this, ah! And a almost immediate thump, and then a moan.
Weren't you carrying her?
I was carrying her initially when we went in.
You were assisting her as she left, as you were kind of like infantry Forrest Gumping her out. She was still on her feet though, as you drug her free.
Okay. Oh man, I'll look down through that hole. Try to see if you can see anything, and call out.
Go ahead and roll me an awareness here, and I'll save your other ones for times where I don't want you to know that I need you to roll.
Oh, I see. Okay. Oh man, fumble. I'm just saying man because all the other ones that you made me roll were, I think 3 of them were fumbles. Here we go. So that's, oh boy, that's 6.
Yeah, JF, as you look down into the hole, it's not that you can't see or it's obscured with, or you're just lacking the ability to look down. There is frost everywhere. There is this kind of temperature difference that's creating this fog as it comes from below up into this now frigid air. Even the subterranean, it looks like to be some type of cellar area, which would normally be a place where you would go for cold storage. The temperature down there is actually warmer than the air above now, this new recently frigid environment. But I will give you this, as you look down, you see nothing, but you hear like a scraping and a moan from below as the continued pain of Commander Fofri is heard.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
How bad is it?
You hear her now realizing how bad it is. It's my leg.
Oh. Boy, okay. All right. Damn. I don't have a rope. I'll just scratch his head trying to figure out here in the split moment what he should do. I'll say, can you move?
You hear kind of a scramble, not a quick one. Like it's purchase placed tenderly, but then whatever was being used to kind of hoist oneself crumbles as you hear, and then like the staggering and splashing of stone on stone, and you hear another groan. Can't get up.
Okay.
And we just had several donations come in. I don't like to break the mood, but I think I should at this moment to let the group know that they have 2 swallows in play, and I have a bunch of winds howling in play, which is super fun for me. And because I took this moment to interrupt, I'm going to give this one free of charge. JF, as Dusa is standing over this hole that has been created by this crashed marble that started with the ceiling and has come through the floor, you notice 2 things. One, this entire area is groaning. And by that I mean the very structure itself seems to be unhappy with its current developments, as you hear the wood things settling and moving and cracking. The second thing I will give you is you see a figure coming through the frost from the direction in which you fled.
All right, that figure that just looked at him and stole half his life force. Possibly, could that be the one?
It might be. It seems to be the same
Armored?
build. It has a crown on.
It's got the crown. Okay, so yeah, Dusa doesn't want to stick around for that thing. He has so does it seem like suicide to want to tie a rope and go down there with the state that the building is in? Does it seem like this would be
Your awareness wasn't that great, but you don't think this hole is terribly deep.
okay.
It's definitely, I mean, you can hear her clear. It's not like there's an echo or a reverb.
All right, so
Still, you're not sure how deep it is though.
Okay, he'll tie a rope. He's got a rope. He's got a hemp rope. He's gonna tie it around a beam, something that will hold it, and he'll start going down.
roll me a wilderness survival as you do this quickly, I'm assuming.
Right. So this quickly. Wilderness survival, that's right there. Okay. Oh, yes. Critical. Huh. 22.
With a 22
Plus
and a...
silver. Do we have silver?
Yeah, we do. We have +4 of silver, so that would take it to a 26.
26.
So with a 26, you are able to... This is Deuce's... I don't want to say natural habitat, but this is something that he absolutely does whenever he's as a huntsman. And so with this quick kind of lasso knot that slips around one of the nearby fallen logs, one of the ones that's creaking, you are able to quickly lower yourself in. As soon as you kind of breach the fog, you realize that it's about 20 feet from the floor where you were standing down to the debris-strewn floor of where Commander Fofri is. And you're able to quickly get down there. But as soon as you get down, and with your crit, I'm going to allow you an additional action because you got down there quickly. The building above gives way and falls into the hole in which you just jumped. You are down in this room. It appears to be a catacomb of numerous rooms. Commander Fofri is there. She cannot stand. Her leg is hopelessly broken. There are stone and timber and ice fall from above. Knight, what do you do?
All right. Well, it sounds like he has a split moment here. So he's going to activate, if he can, he's going to step right above her and activate that shield, using earth magic. He'll make a sign and put all of the stamina he can into it, which is 6 stamina, which means it can take 60 hit points of of damage, but who knows what's coming here. And he'll just pray for the best at this point. If he can drag her away, if that seems like it would help, if there's maybe a nook somewhere, something that might provide shelter, he would try to drag her towards that place.
I tell you what, let's see if we can do this. I gave you one action, and casting Quen would probably be it. But
Okay.
but I love the idea here. I love the
I'm just trying to.
I tell you what, let's do this. You give me a stamina burn here of double what you would normally need. Let's do 6. Let's do a 6 stamina burn here, and I will allow you to start dragging her into an area. Now, whether or not you get there, that depends upon an athletics roll. How's that sound?
Sounds good to me.
Let's roll that athletics then.
Okay, so 6. So it's actually 12.
Let's just do with a straight 6 with your stamina, because you've already been
Okay.
fighting. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. And athletics, which is in the body now. There it is. Basic row. That's a 20.
Does that include your +4 for silver?
No, it's 24. Sorry.
24. So as we cut from Dusa, as you smash the Quen sign down and cover yourself in that force field, as the ice and snow and timber begin to fall down around you, you can feel the pressure as it strikes your magical shield. You're able to shelter Commander Fofri's body, almost umbrella it with you and your magic as you begin to kind of pull her away. She's helping as much as she can with her good leg and arm, kind of spidering to move. But as you pull, you can feel the dust and you feel the pressure of things hitting you in the back. She begins to scream, and you hear the second, almost this barbaric scream as the two of you are moving, and it is with only the faintest of realizations that you understand it is your own voice that is making it, as the dust and the debris settle around as the two of you launch towards an opening you hope is deep enough to hold the both of you. But let's go back to the solarium. Eris, Wim, You hear the attack and the approach of the Cyclops. You see through the shattered remains and the expanse of the now sundered patio the strike that Ainfra takes as the marble hits her as she begins to cast. You can see the portal. This is Ainfra, do you have to make any type of concentration check for this thing, or does it stay up?
Oh no, the glories of magic in this system.
I didn't
There
think
is no
so.
Concentration check.
I
Once it's cast, it's cast.
Right, so there is a portal that you can kind of see over the corpse of this fallen pillar that is now part of the solarium. You believe that you could probably scramble over this pillar. It might take some time and then get to the portal, but you see more glow than the actual portal itself. You can tell, and you heard Ainfra yell for it, but the pillar does continue into the solarium and creates a bit of a divide. But brothers, this is up to you. Tell me a story.
So go ahead, bud.
No, I was going to say I'm going to let Billy go first, but I shot you a message, Greg, real quick.
Oh. I'm just going to go ahead and say you already know the answer to that.
You're up first, man.
Okay, so running inside, hearing the chaos outside, Wim sharply looks at Eris with like an almost understanding that's like, we have to go back out there. And Wim turns around and in like that kind of, when you're a kid and you're swinging on the swing set and you're swinging a little too hard and dad tells you not to, that walk, that's not a run, but it's that angry dad walk. He starts going out the way he came in with that angry dad walk, strips off his helmet, busts open the other box, and attempts to put on the Skelligan helmet.
Okay, and as you pull it out, as mentioned before, the Skelligan helmet is very similar to a two-fan Spartan helmet. It's, as the Spartan helmet had like the mohawk type of plumage that goes across, this one has two that go back across the top of the helmet. It creates almost like a slingshot type from a straight-on view. Very fearsome. You're not sure exactly what the plumes are made out of, but it's not decorative. It's meant to intimidate.
Gotcha. And then if that, as far as action economy, if there's anything left after that, I want to cast. How close are Ainfra and Yannicka?
Oh, they are on the other side of the pillar. And at this point, if they're close to this, I'd say they're within 25, 30, 35 feet of you.
Okay.
You can't see them, though. You can hear them.
All right. Can I see the portal?
You can see the glow of the portal.
And I can see the Cyclops for sure.
Yeah, the Cyclops is pretty dominant. Yeah, it's basically this direction is a Cyclops with an ocean behind it.
In the space between the Cyclops and where I believe Ainfra and Yannicka to be, I want to cast Yurden.
Okay, you're going to try to like region up the area, like the no man's land between your friends and the Cyclops.
Yep.
I love it. I'm not sure that Wim has cast this yet. I know that we did way back at the Wraith, but I'm not sure you were the one that cast it. I thought it might have been Dusa. What does it look like when Wim casts Yurden?
As he's strutting out there, he kind of guesstimates the area and he'll sign and just say Yurden under his breath and just march straight towards that area of effect. He's going to pump 2 stamina in it, so it'll be a -2 to any sort of physical actions that go through there.
Okay. So as you do so, and this is more of a like a grenade toss than anything else. You know where Ainfra is. You heard her yell out. You saw the marble kind of disappear beneath the pillar and a thump, and then presumably a non-Yannicka sound as Ainfra was hit. But you are lobbing this Yurden over into this area, and a purple aura appears along the ground. Not dissimilar from the fog that kind of covered the ground in Deuce's neck of the nape, but this is entirely made of magic. And as this purple fog roils over this area into the nooks and crannies, for Ainfra, it brushes up against the backs of her ankles. Doesn't cause any ill effect, but it was placed well.
Awesome. And then try to use as much of my movement to get to their location as I can. Knuckles on. Ready to rock and roll.
Your movement, you can begin to climb the pillar. You would have to kind of get over the pillar to get to where they are. And if you want to do that, I'll put you on the pillar.
Okay, absolutely. Yeah.
Eris, what would you like to do, my friend?
Moving in sync with his brother as his brother takes the helmet out. Aris rips open the case he's been handed and is very surprised to see there's like parchment and paper inside. It wasn't what he was expecting at all. But I'd like to do a switcheroo with Tears. I need my knife, and I need this to go somewhere where I'm not holding it, because I need both my hands free, so I ask her to swap it.
Okay.
If that is a thing we can do.
You sure can. In fact, everybody else, take 5 for just a second. So as you pull out this painting and summon forth Tears, the wraith that lives inside your corporal frame, she pulls free. You feel that almost passing through cobwebs feel as she detaches herself from inside, and she produces the knife that you seek, and even goes so far as to place it in your hand. As her hand emerges from your palm, it leaves behind the knife. But as she turns and what do you do as you have this painting? Do you present it to her? Do you just, what is the trade here?
He hasn't even looked at it, so it's her reaction first. He is just palming it off, not having enough time. He's got like so many other places his mind is at, so at first like he's not even thinking, doesn't even really know it's a painting. He just feels like parchment. Could be writing, it could be letters, it could be anything.
Right. So let's go with this direction then. What is your next move after this? What is your next intention? You have the knife. The painting is gone, given to Tears. What do you do?
I am going to fork off in the opposite direction. Sort of like as my brother heads off towards them, helmet on, throwing a Yurden, I'm going to also be throwing a Yurden to the right of his, closer to me, and he's about to yell something very loudly over towards Yannicka and Ainfra. But that's like, he's gonna cast Yurden first.
Okay. As you move to do that, you feel the passing through cobwebs intensify. And you realize that Tears has pulled free of you. And she stands where you just stood, and she is holding this framed canvas and staring at it.
So she's behind me.
Mm-hmm.
She's holding it. I'm seeing the back of the canvas.
Yes.
I take the knife, I step over to her, and I say, people are about to die. Focus.
She looks up and meets your eyes, and you see her hair kind of always has that underwater quality where it suspends and moves slowly. And as she looks up, it kind of catches up a second later. And you can see that she doesn't understand. There's an absolute confusion in those large eyes. And she slowly turns this painting around to you. And you can see her walking along a shore. And she says, "Is this me?"
Yes. And he's going to take the blade, and he's going to, in the corner, right in the frame, cut very quickly the painting free of the frame so it can be rolled or folded or something.
Roll me an awareness.
Not like an empathy or anything like that. An awareness.
An awareness, yeah.
28.
When you pierce the canvas from the back end, kind of like you said, dragging it along the frame length, it pierces as it would any normal canvas. The knife slices completely through. But when you do, you feel a splash on your face and you taste salt. And for the briefest of moments, you think that blood has come from this painting. But it's not. It is salt water, as you can see it running down your knuckles as you finish the cut and then drag it sideways up, taking it from its frame. It's a large amount. It's pooling at your feet. It's sloshing around. And despite the frigid air, it is not freezing.
Does she react?
As soon as you cut the last piece of the frame, you see that she is still staring through the wood at you. And I'm afraid your time is up, my friend. Yannicka, Ainfra, you would be vaguely aware of a Yurden pocket appearing behind you. Yannicka, you would be able to see that purple fog behind the mage. What do both of you do as this amber moment is quickly becoming fluid?
I keep
Aim
heading
for-
toward the portal.
Ainfra shouts over her vaguely where she saw Wim and Aris last. Go through the portal. I can get Dusa, but it's a lot easier for me to do by myself and not hold a portal open. And I don't have to worry about it. And she kind of looks to see where Yannicka was rolling last when she
Not
started
rolling anymore. I'm taking really big steps.
And
Yeah.
because she's going to try and lean down and kind of assist you with force.
Well, no, Yannicka is actually closer to the portal than you
okay.
are. You cast, and she covered some distance with her ill-begotten spin, but it just didn't cover all the distance. Yeah.
No.
Okay. Infra looks to see if she can see where Eris and Wim are to get them through the portal.
I will tell you this, because of the Yurden that appeared behind you, you know that they have to be within a specific distance. However, because of imagine the villa as a Malibu beach house up on stilts. This Malibu beach house now has a pillar roughly 20 feet in diameter shoved through the room that you were in. So to be able to see through this thing is very difficult. It is a massive, as described before, this marble structure was massive and ornate and probably cost most of Sidaris's taxes for a year. But yeah, it's tough to see around it. You can hear a scrambling and you know that the Witchers are still present, but they are not currently within view.
She's making her way towards the portal and just yelling at them to get there.
Okay.
She can.
Portal steps.
Okay. So as this is going and you begin to move away, the aforementioned Cyclops is doing stuff to the patio as you hit. And so I need an athletics roll from both Ainfra and Yannicka as...
Not a dodge escape.
No, this is to keep your footing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Had to try for it, Greg.
Sure. Yeah, I would do the same thing.
21.
There you go.
13. Not a nat one.
That's important.
Okay, so let me see here. As the pillar on the patio begins to give way, Ainfra, you take 19 damage as the remnants of the patio wave up and crash down on the area that you were recently occupying. The Cyclops, if anyone were to be looking, is pressing through the patio much like somebody might press through thigh-high water. It's just breaking through this structure, causing everything to bunch, buckle, or fan up towards the solarium and the villa proper. Ainfra, you are caught in this wave as it takes you and slams you against the pillar and then deposits you on top of the pillar amidst the rubble. The benefit here is you can now see Wim, and Wim can see you since you are straddling the pillar. Yannicka, you make it inside, but...
With my big steps.
You just take 1 damage as something kind of clips your neck and draws a line of blood from it.
Oh my gosh, that's the first blood that's been drawn for me this entire game.
We'll make sure that that's not the... I'm joking. Roll me a d6, if you would.
Think low. That's not as high as it could have been. That's fine.
You're at 63. As you make it to the portal, but I need to ask Ainfra to roll me a stun roll, please. You get there.
No.
You get there. Let's see. You know what? Portals are fun things because they're there 1 second and then they're not. Roll me another athletics and roll me a spellcasting, Ainfra.
Athletics.
As you get hit, and this is Ainfra trying to hold this thing together as Yannicka is moving towards it.
Cool.
Greg.
Yes.
Greg.
Yes.
Greg.
Yes, I can hear you. Yeah.
You are. This is not fair.
There's something at
No,
play.
the 25. It's a 25. It's a 25, and she knew where her target was. Her DC was 16. Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, you're good.
I'm not killing another player, Greg.
No, of course not. No,
Greg, if the portal destabilizes, it dismembers people.
No, yeah, but that didn't happen. You rolled great. Yannicka, you fall into, with 5 steps later, you fall into presumably Ainfra's house.
And then I lie there.
And then you see the portal snap shut behind you as you are lying on the floor.
I just stay lying on the floor because that's all I can do right now. I think she just begins to laugh cry on the floor when that happens.
Also, more swallow has come in for Ainfra from Zombie. I appreciate and love Legion to death because they both giveth and they taketh away, which I love. So Ainfra, please give that additional swallow to yourself. As Wim, I'm going to ask you for a roll here because you are climbing up the pillar when this happens. We're going to say that it's time. If we're putting the economy of time together, you had started your climb when the Cyclops started going through the patio, which caused the wave of wood and stone. And this deposited Ainfra on top of you. Roll me in athletics. Or if you want to sell me on something else, you have a moment here before this kind of destruction hits you through the pillar. Ainfra smashes kind of right in front of you. Ainfra, how good are you looking right now? I know the glamour makes you look great, but feeling-wise, how do you...
I mean, her dresses... I mean, the problem is she isn't wearing a glamour at the moment. Because she didn't need one today. Because she was all healthy and everything. She's definitely looked better, but she's definitely looked a shit ton worse. You know?
You see decidedly mid-shitty Ainfra.
That's a really good comparison there. Slightly better than mid-shit.
What would you like to do, Wim?
So I'm trying to visualize here. So I'm climbing up this pillar that's been thrust into the solarium. Is it vertical or in a state of vertical nature? How, like, up? What's the angle?
It was thrown in like a spear. There's very little angle to it because it hit the villa and came to rest. So it's almost completely log lying down. And as you were climbing around the outside, almost like a deposited sack of potatoes that are of a mid-shit quality, Ainfra kind of boom in front of you.
Okay. So with the Cyclops coming in, it is becoming vertical, correct?
You can feel the wave. You can feel the crest. If you were a surfer, you would start paddling right now.
Okay. And Ainfra's within, like close to me.
You could kiss her or carry her.
Okay. So I want to make an attempt to grab her whilst keeping my footing. I do feel that would be like an athletics. So that's what I'm going to roll.
Everybody in chat, I am going to out Lindy in that she just said Wim does not kiss and tell, which I thought needed to be shared with you, Legion. So.
I can't see that number.
It's a 23, my friend, a 23. Also, Time, you just donated enough for some swallow, which is healing. If there's somebody you would like to throw that swallow towards, let me know, and we will deposit it quickly. So you're grabbing her, and tell me how you do this, my friend.
So as I'm trying to scale this pillar as it starts to rise and she starts to descend. If she is airborne, kind of jumping into the air, catching her, landing on the pillar, and trying to maintain balance. Not dissimilar from the hippie shit we talked about last week.
Okay, yep, so with 23, does that count your 4 from... okay, so yeah, you slip a bit as everything starts to kind of give way. As the Cyclops' approach is just causing chaos and havoc everywhere. And Eris, you see your brother, if you, as soon as you kind of cut free and give the painting back to Tears, once curled up, she takes it and like absorbs it. The frame clatters to the ground, and you see your brother carrying Ainfra as he runs up a now tilting pillar. The Cyclops is Well, I mean, arm's length for a Cyclops is like a football field or half a football field, but we're in that area of nightmare.
Quick question: are the with the area being destructed, are the Yurden signs still active?
Just one. I haven't cast mine yet.
Oh, you haven't cast yours yet. Okay.
Yeah, strangely enough, your Yurden sign is where the floor used to be. It's sort of floating in the air, and that fog is slowly descending, almost as if it's remembering that there should be a floor there, but magic is fickle.
Can I see the portal, Greg?
You can see it as soon as it... Well, roll me an awareness, and we'll see. My judgment into whoever needs it the most.
29. I'm just getting progressively more and more aware and more terrified.
Yeah.
Can I voluntarily roll low? Is that a thing I can do? Can I just choose to fail and not witness some of this? Because that would be great.
Oh, hey, I will tell you this.
Insanity, this isn't Call of Cthulhu. You're fine.
Josh, that is a great compromise. And I'm going to tell you what. If anybody ever voluntarily fails a roll, before I kind of explain what's going on, if you elect to voluntarily fail something, I will give you a luck point. How's that sound? Just in the future, if anybody ever decides to do that.
Because this is like that amazing deal you made with the waterfall with me.
It really is.
You're such a generous DM.
It really is. I'm
in
a good
moment
guy.
of abject terror and fear and everything else, I did roll for it. So do I see a portal?
You see it go out. You see,
I see it go out.
You see like the tail end of Yannicka go through the portal, and then it wink out as soon as she disappears through it.
And I see Wim carrying Ainfra.
Yep. You certainly do.
As I will merge with tears, I call out as loud as I physically can, probably like tearing at my throat a little bit. No portals! And I'm going to realize that my brother is super exposed and there is a Cyclops. Cyclops only have one eye.
They do.
I have a bow. So I'm going to try and cover my brother. So I'm going to draw my bow and just let fly.
Even though this is a massive eye, I'm still going to have you make a called shot as if it were to the head.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
So and this is more just kind of the toughness of this orb. Go ahead and roll me attack.
Yeah, okay. So I'm spending 2 luck. I'm using that. It's gonna be... Is that it? Yeah. It's not that. It's that. What's the range?
I'm going to go ahead and say, just because of the size and like kind of like the depth perception here, I'm going to go with this is like a medium range shot, even though technically it'd be a little bit longer, but this is a bigger person.
Okay. I don't know if I've included my extra points in. Nope, there it is. Okay. 16.
Roll your damage.
It's a headshot. I called a headshot.
You did. It's triple damage then.
Oh god. Oh, I didn't. Shit, because I don't use my bow very often. So Greg, I have different arrows.
Sure. We've talked about this, yes.
Yeah. I'd just be using the broadhead, which does bleed damage.
Okay, sure.
So that's it. Okay, cool. How do I roll for the damage? There. So 12 tripled is 38 plus 100% bleed damage.
So as this Cyclops is reaching for the fleeing form of your brother and the mage he carries, you see your shot hit, and as this massive head rocks back, there is a bellow, a scream of rage and pain absolute as it grabs its eye, and you see the hand that was going for your brother reach up and palm the orb in its forehead. You can't see if you've taken the eye. You can't see if it's been destroyed because of this palm. And the creature stands just stunned for a moment by this blast, and then its arms reach back as if to begin pinwheeling. And you see this large kind of wind up as it begins to...
Second shot.
Sure.
Because that was the quick shot. So I want to try and do a thing here. I don't know how feasible with a broadhead arrow. As he goes to wind up, I want to aim under his armpit.
Okay.
I kind of like a disarming shot, like basically to just like give him to cause him pause. I'm fine even sacrificing damage. I don't care, like anything I can do to stop that swing from coming in.
Are you trying to throw like a hitch in the joint to keep it from like to decrease mobility?
I reckon his hide is gonna be least tough here, and that's also gonna be like if you are suddenly hit there, it kind of makes your arm fold a little bit.
Okay, I see what you're doing.
Anything would like stagger him for a second.
Yeah, this is the Witcher combat system. We can absolutely do that. Give me a torso shot. So I think this one is only a -1, but
Okay, let's do this. Second shot, calling torso. This is just +4. I'm saving my 1 luck. That's a 22. God, that is so much easier when you're not at a massive negative for...
Look at that shit.
Is that a critical?
He's immune to criticals because of his size, but you may definitely roll damage.
Fantastic. I'm down to 3 broadheads. However, that's solid damage, 15, and both of them do bleed damage. I haven't really done bleed damage before, so I don't know what it does, but yeah.
I'm going to take it into as a timed effect because this thing is a sack of hit points. So what we'll do here, though, is I like the idea of what you were doing. So as the shot hits, it instinctively pulls the arm back, feeling the pain. And because of its compromised awareness, it's not sure if it's leaning into something or if it's been struck again. So it stops its movement on its right side. The left arm still continues to move, but you've bought yourself some precious seconds. So Eris, you have fired these two in rapid succession. You have a couple beats as your brother is now running up this pillar. What do you have 1 moment to say or do something before we go back to Dusa inside, and what would that say or be?
I just scream, Wim, run! And I go for my next arrow. I'm going to cover him for as long as I can.
Okay. So Wim, you hear this as you are going up the pillar, and outside of earshot of all of this, we go back inside the middle of the villa. Dusa. The dust chokes you, even through the quen. You feel the quen give. But now there's no longer falling debris, there's settling debris. And much like a miner caught in a cave-in, you feel that rough intrusion into your lungs. You hear the coughing of Commander Fofri beside you as she's coughing and gagging and actually vomiting a bit as she tries to clear her passage in her lungs. She is alive. Her leg is broken. The two of you seem to be in a hallway here in what appears to be in this dimly lit, just some sun rays coming through the broken shards of glass and ice, giving you enough illumination to see tile. This is a worked floor. It's not earthen. So it's a cellar, basement. You can glean little more than that.
All right. I guess Dusa is going to try to listen to see what's going on. and where. I'll just take a moment there, panting in the dust, and focus and try to see if he hears anything.
Roll me an awareness.
All right. It's +4. I'll put the +4 after. So that's +4. That's 29.
Okay.
Oh, no, 25. Sorry.
25. Yeah. You listen, and it's, you have that settling rock and wood and ice behind you, the cracking and the tumbling, and as you kind of focus your attention and focus forward, kind of shooting your senses ahead, you don't hear anything. There's no cries of pain or presence. However, as you reach forward in this cold, crisp air now, as it kind of permeates down from above, you catch it for just a second. It just barely touches your ear. You hear a sound that seems like a panting, like a
Where's it coming from?
ahead.
Ahead?
Ahead.
Okay, he's going to take a look at the captain, try to get her ready to move using his first aid, his knowledge, his limited knowledge of first aid. Let's see if there's anything he can do to prep her for a move.
Absolutely. So, do me two things here. Roll me a first aid.
All right. First aid is coming up. Geez, I never use that. Where is it's in the craft, right? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So that's 16 plus 4 is 20.
Yeah, you are able to stabilize her wound here. The leg is broken, but it's not a compound fracture. You can just see that it's twisted more than anything else. So you're able to kind of place a rough splint that kind of immobilizes the knee. Kind of, you find a piece of this splintered timber around, wrap it up with some cloth quickly. She finds and fashions another stick to kind of use as a makeshift crutch. She's able to pull herself up. Roll me a stealth.
Okay. It's plus 4, that's 20.
Oh yeah, 22. So
Oh shit.
yeah, you do so very quietly. You are able to put that, and you can see that she's even trying to quiet herself. She realizes that you're not saying anything, and perhaps gleans. She knows when to take.
I'll just give her a warning look.
Yeah.
And look down the hallway.
Yeah, she's a veteran soldier. You can tell that she doesn't need to ask questions or demand what you believe. She wants to know what you know. She just takes it at face value. She's seen you at work. And so she remains quiet, and you remain quiet. And as you turn and look back up the hallway, this tiled hallway of the sundered villa, you see something that looks vaguely like a hound or a wolf pad across either between two doorways in the hallway ahead, but it just kind of walks across. And normally, a dog is a dog, a wolf is a wolf. But as it steps, you can see glowing ice blue footprints left on the tile.
Oh boy. All right. So it's moved past, away, or
You saw it, like when you're looking down the hallway, you saw it move from your left to your right. And whether it went like across a kind of a bisecting hallway or from one room on one side of the hall to the other, that you can't tell.
Okay. All right. So draping the captain's arm around his shoulder, he'll try to help her get up and walk down this hallway, and he'll make a point of going slowly and trying to be quiet.
Okay, roll me another stealth then.
All right. That's a critical.
So that's 27 plus 4,
Yes.
31.
Yeah.
So, because you were successful with your first aid, Commander Fofri is not a hindrance for you. She can't help you with stealth, but she cannot hurt you with stealth. And so, as the two of you go through, describe for me how Dusa, the knight, the hunter, moves when he's in the wild, when he may be as much prey as predator.
I'd say he's kind of crouched. He consciously, and I think this is a habit by now, since he's spent 10 years in the wild, he consciously relaxes his muscles, his body, so as not to scare anything like animals or whatever, but also not to make too much noise. And yeah, he's very focused and on his senses, particularly his hearing and what he sees.
You creep down the hallway, and as your silent footfalls carry you across the tile, Commander Fofri, lending her weight to you to keep herself quiet, but you can tell that she's ready to pull away if something were to happen so as to not to put you in danger. She clutches a long curved knife in her hand, her sword too cumbersome with her sundered leg. She has gone to a smaller blade. And as you are both going through, you reach the point where you saw this hound, this wolf. And as you cross the threshold of this point of intersection, you look to your right and you see a shallow room. And you see this beast with its bristling, white-furred back to you. You see that it is pawing a corpse, and you see it pulling and snapping flesh in its teeth. But as it does so, the snap of this meal freezes. And what would be a, pardon the expression, a chewy dinner is very crunchy. You can hear it, the and then you can hear these guttural, not growls, but almost rumbles of pleasure as you hear this, and then the, and for a moment it perks its ear up, and you see one ear pop up. Still, you can't see its face. You see simply its back.
Yeah, whenever it freezes, we'll kind of freeze as well.
And
you know what I'm saying?
As you take the hunter's approach and you go still with it,
And mimicking, yeah.
there's a beat. As it goes back to biting this frozen dinner.
All right. And does it cross Deuce's mind at all through anything he's studied what this might be, possibly?
Roll me a Witcher training.
Just curious at this point. Right. Oh, it's a critical. That's +4. It's 20. Okay, and I'll get the critical roll. All right. That's 23.
Again, we're dealing with something that is, even for Witchers, more myth than actual study. This is something that, except for the School of the Viper, has almost been cast aside as, even among people that are supposed to believe the impossible, they sort of didn't want to continue to study or remember the Wild Hunt. But this is a remembrance from a picture, as all good fairy tales often end up works of art. They are carried in a visual medium that captures the mind and makes one shake their head at the impossibility. But you remember something of frozen hounds and frozen wolves that ride and hunt with the wild hunt. And you remember, you're not sure exactly what their names were. You remember it being something like the pack of the frigid, the pack of the bite.
All right. And I'm sure they're not known to have many weaknesses. So Dusa will, realizing what this thing might be, he'll shiver involuntarily and look at the captain and get going.
And because of your crit, the only thing that could have carried you past a beast of the wild hunt, you are able to clear this area and continue down the hallway. As Dusa proves once again that though alone, ass kicking is still definitely on the table. So as you get down the hallway, my friend, you can see that you reach an L intersection, and to the right you see a pair of frozen wooden stairs leading up to a wooden door that normally you could see would be set and locked with a bolt on the inside of the villa, but has been opened. And there are some slightly thawing blue footprints heading down. These footprints look like a hound's or a wolf's.
Yeah, at this point, Dusa is quite eager to get back to the others. And he's trying to figure out where he is and where he needs to go. Would it be on this floor? Would he? No. Yeah, that's true. We went down. Okay.
Yeah, you do
so
remember.
He's going up.
Yeah, you've gone down a level.
He's going up for sure.
Sure. As you go up, I'd like you to roll an awareness check for me as you kind of reach the top of this frozen wooden stair with Commander Fofri in tow.
All right. 27?
When you open the door, you can see that you've entered or left this kind of tiled area, but the tile continues, but it's of a much higher quality. And when you breach into this area, you look around and realize that you have ascended into a wine cellar. You see that there are racks of wine everywhere. There seems to be a center room inside these 8 or 10 rows of floor to ceiling wine. You can see through them to see this little room. But as you get up and with your awareness roll of a 27, I will also say that you are privy to the prints on the top of the tile. Prints that number at least 4 beasts, crisscrossed and padded and seemingly on the hunt.
All right. He's going to take a look at those tracks. But before he does, he's going to grab a bottle because his Witcher colleagues made fun of him last time because of the wine he had. And he's going to try to get some better,
on and next to a
something better
picnic
here.
basket. That's right there.
Just I'll grab one, put it in his sack, and check those tracks, see where they went off, and try to find a direction that they haven't gone off.
JF, now it often sounds like I'm as a DM kissing Deuce's ass when I say stuff like this, but I have to point out as a fan, baller moves. Now, everybody, take into consideration what has occurred over the last 20 minutes in Deuce's life. The baller move here is he stops and shops for wine because he doesn't want to get shit from the rest of the party. That
they
they
made fun of him last time because of the confessional wine. So
okay,
yeah.
Alrighty.
He pretended it was nothing, but it did kind of.
This is where he comes back with like Red Crush or something. We're just like,
it's even worse.
I tell you what, let's roll me a Roll me another awareness check, and we'll see just what we got here. We'll see what we
Okay.
got.
I wouldn't say this is.
Yeah, it's Crush.
Oh,
It's got a really shiny label. It's like metallic, and it's got like almost kind of like neon block Vegas letters on it. It's like Red Crush.
The tragedy here is that he didn't even check. He was like sure it was going to be a good bottle. He put it in the bag. We'll find out when at the right moment.
At least it's in a bottle and not in a box. Like, you got that going for you.
There you go. There you go.
Sutter's Home. All right.
They have a house. Fancy.
Okay, so roll me a wilderness survival as you look and see all of these crisscrossing tracks. And much like in a video game, whenever somebody has passed by, like in Metal Gear or something, you see the footsteps slowly kind of fade. This is essentially what you're doing here. So with a 17 plus 4 as a 21, you got a pretty good idea that the crisscross around here, 2 of them left this room, 1 of them went downstairs, the other one seems to have gone deeper into the wine cellar and perhaps left. You don't sense that there's anybody in here, but when you go to the door that leads out into the hallway, which happens to be open, you can see that 1 set goes to the left, 1 goes to the right. And when you look down the hallway to your right, you see that a door on the left is open.
1 to the left, 1 to the right. So there's basically no choice here but to. Well, he's gonna stop and do what he often does on a hunt and listen again.
Okay.
Yep.
And as
maybe towards the left, towards that door there. I'll listen that way.
Sure. As Deuce's senses kind of reach out again, our camera goes with Deuce's senses as we see the rest of the party rushing from this blinded and enraged Cyclops, but our kind of bird's eye view pulls back even further as we see just how much damage has been done to the villa already. And we see that riding up the fan that was the tidal pool of this villa in Bremervord, 4 riders are approaching. And thank God, my winds begin to howl. But we're going to take our break, and we'll be back in 5 minutes. See you in 5, friends. Well, hello, everybody, and welcome back to Witcher Wednesday as we continue with our episode 21, 100 Steps. And having come out of the break, I thought it only fitting that we continue the episode 100 Steps with the person and the character for whom the 100 Steps holds the most prominence. So, Lindy.
Yep.
Yannicka appears on the floor of Ainfra's house, a good half-day's ride from the events occurring at the villa, brought there by a portal, a teleportation spell. And as you arrive, kind of boom, collapsing on the ground, what do you do?
Well, I laugh quite a bit. Just from the insanity of it all. Just the sheer ridiculousness of the situation. The absurdity of it all. I think she has a good little, 2 to 5 minute laugh cry. And then she'll just lay there for a bit.
Okay.
See if the portal reopens to come through.
A couple beats go by and it doesn't. But I mean, time is relative when you're laying on the ground.
Yeah. Maybe yell out for Khalid, because he's supposed to be here. Khalid!
You would hear and see footsteps coming over to you, and a figure would crouch down and look at you in the face, and you would see the visage of Paul.
You're not Khalid.
Are we on our way through the Blue Mountains?
Yeah, we're at least out of there. It's gonna be a journey. It might take a while, but we'll get there eventually.
You only have 100 steps.
Yeah, and I can't walk to the Blue Mountains like that, obviously.
It's part of the curse. I am sorry.
I'm sorry, what?
It's part of the curse.
Could you elaborate on that? Yeah, I heard you say it's part of the curse. It's just expand upon that a little. What curse? 100 steps?
We couldn't return towards the Blue Mountains. We couldn't take 100 steps towards the Blue Mountains, or we would die. That's why we were staying in captives in Bremervoort. When we died, the curse continued. I didn't think they could do that.
Curses are funny like that. Well, the Blue Mountains are far more than 100 steps from here. And I look around. My mage associate isn't here to teleport or anything, so it looks like we're gonna have to just wait a while, because it's gonna take you a really long time if you have me walk 100 steps and then die, and then someone else walks 100 steps and die. It's gonna be a lot longer than if you just wait a bit.
Oh, we can be patient. We don't wish you to die.
Yeah, no, same. Did you know how to break that curse at all or anything? Maybe 100 steps in the opposite direction from the Blue Mountains.
And
who cursed you?
the Duke.
The Duke.
Well,
who?
not the Duke. The Duke hired 2 of our own kind to do it.
The Sinblings? You'd be fucking kidding me.
I don't know if that's their names. I never knew it.
Yeah, it's most likely them. That's fine. This is fine. It's all fine. Who was the Duke when you died? Because I don't really care, but people are going to ask me questions about this when they get here. So.
Can't remember.
That's fine.
Heimo. Duke. No.
Duke. Hi. Okay.
Duke.
Tomlin. You said something earlier about it.
Tomlin.
Tomlin.
Duke.
Okay.
There have been so many. Duke. You see him kind of drift off. He seems surprisingly lifelike.
Just hit my head on the floor a couple times. Why now? I had 3 nice days. I had 3 whole days. And now this. It's fine. I shouldn't have expected anything else. This is fine. Khalid! Just yell out again.
There's no one else here.
There's no one else. Did you check the whole place?
I
Already?
can tell that there's no one else here.
Oh, that's fine. Did they leave a note
I don't
or
know.
something? You don't. Could you check? Because I'm stuck here a little bit right now.
Can I ask you a question?
Sure, I have all the time in the world right now. Go ahead.
How can you hear me?
I hear and see things a lot. You might not even actually be here.
I'm here.
Are you though?
You listen to me.
Yeah, see, here's the thing. Very, very long time ago, there's a little elf girl who hit her head very hard. And ever since then, she sees and hears things that don't exist. But I don't want to take any chances on the fact that you guys are real, and so I'm not walking any more than I need to.
How do you know the things that you have heard don't exist?
Because people that are normal, that don't see and hear things that aren't real, they don't see them. I've had 200 years to experiment with this, and I'm pretty certain that most of the things I see and hear aren't real. Well, maybe not most, like half. Somewhere between, I don't know, it's a lot. I have to question everything.
You shouldn't. You have a great gift. You've saved us. You're trying.
I'm a healer. I save a lot of people.
A healer is a great thing, but I believe you are even more than that.
Can't save myself, so I have to save other people. So if you guys are here, great, fantastic. I'll do my best, and if you're not, I'll still try because I just don't know.
I'm sorry. Is there something I could do for you?
I want some quiet. There's always so much noise. So many voices talking. I just want 5 minutes of peace and quiet.
We will keep anyone else away.
Unless they're actually here. If there's like a big portal that opens up, then you should tell me about it. But I'm just gonna lie on the floor here. And I think she curls up into herself a bit. And we'll call out one more time for Khalid before just closing your eyes and just taking some deep breaths.
And the camera follows Paul as he pads silently off into the kitchen, or the domain of whim as it is now known in this household. And he moves to a door, and there stands another elf, this one silent, his partner, his everything, the elf known as Lark. Looking out the back, Lark will turn to his lover and say, "Who is that?" And together the long dead elves will turn and look out the back of the house of Ainfra towards a rise in the city's streets where a witcher stands. Let's cut back to the villa, though, as we are standing with two brothers and a mage. They are running from a sundered and wounded Cyclops and the approach of 4 frost driven, ridden, carrying riders. The solarium is sundered, the villa itself is shaken. You have a way to escape deeper into this structure. You can go off the sides. You may attack the Cyclops if you wish. I know that Eris is going to attempt to provide covering fire for his brother and Ainfra. Wim, what do you do? Ainfra, what do you do?
Ainfra puts a hand on Wim and thanks him for the steadying and just says, "It's time to run. And that thing's in the way." And her eyes she's bleeding from the head. She's very deadpan, and she seems, the last time you saw her like this, she froze everything around her and possibly you at the same time. But she keeps a steady, strong grip on Frostfang on her staff. She never lets that go. And slowly, Wim, you would feel your medallion begin to vibrate with the amount of magic that she's just channeling through her as she reaches out a hand and pulls towards her and casts Anovach at the very large Cyclops.
Roll it. The Cyclops cannot see to evade, so this is a DC of 10.
It's not evasion, technically, this time.
Okay.
Because this is, although that might come up in a mere second, because she's a little pissed. It is technically a resist magic. Which is... And because I like round numbers, I'm going to dump 3 of my luck into this, Greg. For a 40.
That's not a 40.
No, it is not. Hey, Greg, this is a crit because it can happen that way. And it also does 14 damage and then 13 stamina damage.
Okay.
And then, seeing that that's happened, and she's like a little pissed and bleeding, and that it can't move, she tells Wim to step back, and you see 4 ice just start to peel off of her and shoot at our very large friend, as you see 5 spikes of ice attack our very large friend. And I will spend 3 stamina to take the extra action.
Okay. This is an attack, correct? This is an
attack. This is technically 5 attacks.
Right. But they're all DC 10 because he can't see it coming.
Cool.
I think your base is higher than that. So
my base is higher than that. Hey, Greg, can I call a headshot on a magic attack?
No. Not with, I mean, technically if you want to, you can.
I mean, I will.
I don't think you can.
Probably.
I don't think you can call a shot.
Gives me a target location, but...
Oh, if you want to give it a shot, go ahead.
Cool. And I'll spend 3 luck again to do this, because I like round numbers. It's 28.
Okay. Roll your damage.
What is it? Hold on, I have to double check something. 21 times 5.
It's a lot of hit points.
It's 105. Then times 3 is 303.
All right, I'll give you the headshot. Yeah, so these spikes go pepper this thing. If there was any doubt as to whether or not this eye would ever come back, it's not, because the Cyclops is never coming back. As its head becomes, this is a very large version of Hellraiser. as Pinhead, just 5 of these things come off, piercing the head, almost a halo of death inside this creature. What we know what happens to the Cyclops. It's hit with these massive stalactites of ice. What happens to Ainfra, though, when this fusion and ciphering, this conduit of magic is the mage in front of us?
She is calm, deadly calm. And she just sees that this is a barrier to getting out, and we need to get out fast. And she was holding herself for other things, but she knows now that those aren't relevant, they aren't important, and you would just feel them chill in the air and just this kind of not militaristic, but control, vital control that she has over herself and everything around her. And she then, the minute she casts, and you see she knows that the 5 spikes are going out, and she knows that they're going to hit where she wanted them to, because there's no other way for this creature to move. She turns, not even looking to see that it happens, and starts to run.
Into the villa?
Along the patio towards the cliffside. Because the villa is collapsing. She wants to get into a portion of the villa that's not collapsing. Does that make sense?
Yeah, now the patio that you're currently on, the kind of split patio because of the pillar, it only is as wide as the solarium is wide.
Oh, okay, then she would be going into the solarium.
Yeah, it's on the side that you're on, Prax, it's identical to the side that Yannick was swinging from, so you have that same drop on both sides.
Yeah, so she's running into the solarium as far as she can, and just running.
Okay. As the Cyclops is hit, and this is a slow motion descent, its final resting place. Wim, what are you doing as you see this thing get smacked?
So he witnesses that, and he's still there next to her, and his jaw kind of drops a little bit. It's like, that's what I'm talking about, Corset. And then let's find Deuce and get the fuck out of here.
Save your flirting for the elf.
You said I was flirting.
And why do you keep calling me Corset?
Because it's funny.
I don't call you a flying bear, although you did.
Yeah, it's not really funny though, because
it was a little bit. It was a little bit.
Well, you say potato, I say potato. Doesn't matter. Let's find Dusa.
Are you following? Is this like an exchange as running into the villa? Then, Eris, you would see your brother, Ainfra and your brother, go into the villa, and you would see the Cyclops. It's almost like the wind is deciding which way this thing's gonna fall. For a moment, it looks like it's going towards the sea. For a second, it looks like it's going towards the villa, but it's almost the destruction around its thighs as it shifts and moves is kind of holding it up and will ultimately determine where it's deposited. As of yet, unknown. Eris, what would you like to do?
Can I catch up with them? I have a pretty silly movement speed.
Oh, yeah. I'm not even going to... Yeah, that's not even...
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely.
As I catch up, I just say, we need horses, and we need to ride. There would presumably be like a stables here, right? There are ambassadors here, there are nobles here. They would presumably also just have horses to send like messengers and runners and those sorts of things. Upon arrival, did we get a bearing as to a direction that would be in?
Because you all came from the shore. You came from the shore and then up to the villa. You didn't see any stables in that direction. If by process of elimination it would help you at all, it's not on Seaside. But you know that there would have to be stables somewhere. Yeah.
Would I know where they are?
Presumably in a villa of this structure, it would be at the grand entrance, which would be landside. You know, someplace if somebody rode up or had a carriage drawn up, the stables wouldn't be too far off, so the horses could be put to hay and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, presumably I've been here before.
Yeah, you could say that, you know, you've been to one villa, you've been to them all. There.
Yeah, that's true.
I will pick, I'd like to try and pull out ahead of them and try and sort of pick the path of least resistance to make it as easy for them to sort of like keep a decent pace and see if I can make our way out in that direction.
Sure.
That's all I'm focused on.
Are you going for speed or stealth?
Speed. And I will literally one hand, I'll knock an arrow and then I'll just hold the arrow against the limb of the bow with my finger looped over. It's a short bow, so it's kind of a little easier to move through interiors of stuff. It's still not ideal, but it's ready. And I'm gonna load I'm gonna load a broadhead. No, what's the armor piercing one?
Yeah.
I have a bodkin arrow notched because I'm expecting other kinds of trouble in a minute. So yeah, that's my.
Sure. Okay, so as you're running and you go into this area, because the normally orderly structure of the villa has been compromised, roll me a wilderness survival, and this is basically almost a navigation check. You're trying to just keep your bearings north, south, east, west, seas behind me as you kind of cut through, leading the others to what you would believe the opposite side of the villa would be.
Okay. Damn, that's an 18. That's a terrible roll for me.
Okay, so with an 18, yeah, you're able to take steps, and you can see that there are chunks of roof all over the place. In fact, you get to one area off to your left that the ceiling is completely exposed to the sky, and you can see that a huge chunk of marble has gone through the roof and through the floor. And as you look down, you can see just a destroyed pile of rock, and there's some tile and stuff mixed in with what presumably was the room below. But it seems impassable in that direction. But as you get into this area, an extreme cold seems to be lingering, and I need endurance checks from Ainfra, Wim, and Eris as you kind of blast into this area at full run.
Spend my last luck.
Where's endurance under?
Body.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
24. I mean, Ainfred doesn't get
right.
Well, thank you.
Whatever it says for me.
Okay.
23.
So perhaps maybe this is because of Eris taking point in all of this. Eris, as you run into this cold, you take 1 point of damage. This bypasses your armor. This is something that assaults like the inside of your nose, your throat. It kind of coalesces. You can feel a coating of ice on your teeth as it goes through your nose and kind of chills your back molars. It's a bitter cold. It's surprising in its incredible attack. You can see that the struggle between the different temperatures and pressures in this area are creating this kind of fog that's lifting around everywhere. But as you all go through, you notice that this fall and this collapse, and with the awareness rolls that you all rolled before, it is going to be, wait, I had this pick, is Ainfra. When you go around, Eris is kind of taken back for a moment as this frost hits. You feel it too, it just doesn't affect you. When you feel the cold too, it just doesn't affect you the way that it kind of caught Eris by surprise. But Ainfra, you look past the Viper Witcher and you see a figure trapped beneath rubble. It looks as if one side, a right arm and right leg, are both pinned between large chunks of marble and masonry. And because of your awareness roll, you can see that it is Robert of Sidaris.
Does it look like he's breathing?
Can't tell from this distance.
As she's running, is he like, is it like she'd have to obviously deviate to get to him?
You're following Eris,
Mhm.
but just to kind of cross the T's and dot the I's for both of you, Eris, you would go directly past Robert on your way in which you
Okay.
believe to be the exit.
Eris, is he breathing?
He doesn't check. He just keeps running.
As she runs by, she'll stop for a quick second and see if he's still breathing.
Roll me first aid.
I mean, that's all she's going to do. First aid is
Craft, I believe.
cool. Oh, yeah, there it is.
Yeah, it is.
And he's like, hell yes, it is.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah, he's breathing. He's rough. But as soon as you kind of like check, the breath beneath his nose, you can see the pulse of the arteries in his neck, and his eyes flutter when you get close. And he looks up. I don't know what's happening. Save yourself.
Hey, Greg, can I just stab him through the heart?
Yeah.
She just pulls the knife from her sleeve and just stabs him, because it's kinder to do than to leave him for the hunt. And she knows how people die in freezing to death. She's intimately aware of that. But she knows she can't lift this, and she knows they can't carry him out.
Okay, Eris, you've already gone past this area. Wim, are you paying attention? Are you waiting for Ainfra, or did you run with your brother?
It depends on where the order was, because he would have assumed Ainfra was keeping up if he was ahead. If he was behind, he would have seen her do this, and he would have been looking out for her. So it just depends on what the order was.
I'll leave that up to you all. If let's leave this to Prax. Prax, is this something that Ainfra would have done, or at least attempted to do, in not clandestinely? Like, or would you want the others to see? Would you care if Wim saw, or is this something that you would try to do covertly?
I don't think she would, because she called out to Eris to see if he was still alive, if Robert was still alive, and Eris didn't answer her, so she wasn't quiet about stopping. And I don't know. I mean, I think it's one of those how she would have bent down, looked like she was checking him, and then just slid the knife from under her sleeve and stabbed him quickly, and then put it back. She's not hiding it, but she's being. It's economy
Discreet?
of motion.
Okay. Unless Billy, you would want Wim to know this, I would say that sounds more like something intimate between Robert and Ainfra. And because of the way that, and again, not taking agency, Prax, away from you, but the way that you described and narrated it for Ainfra, I would think that's how it would be. There wasn't a grand gesture or a confidence or a vote or a democracy. She acted. And I would say that Wim didn't see that, unless you all want to roll or something. But that's up to you all. I'm going to leave that actually up to you. Tell that part of the story for me. I think it sounds intimate, but I will default to whatever you all think.
Let me roll an additional awareness, and you can set the DC whatever you like, because I feel like it could be cool either way.
Yeah.
Prax, you set the DC. 10, 15, 20, whatever you want.
I mean, I think this isn't the first time she's had to do this. I would say like 15, because she's not hiding it, but she's also not being obvious with it. Yeah.
And you see it. It's quick, it's efficient, it's merciful, and it's over.
and then she's back running.
And Wim sees what happens and then recognizes who it is. And then as Prax comes back and starts, as Ainfra comes back and starts running, like Wim's eyebrows raise up and he like his feet stop, and he's shocked that you would do that.
She doesn't say anything. She just keeps going.
And you all...
It doesn't even seem to faze her.
And then Wim kind of he doesn't sprint, but he kind of goes to like a fast walk to like a, the kid that sucks at track jog, and then back at full speed as he's processing this.
I feel called out by that description of that run, man. But
me too, man. 12-minute mile. Woo!
There we go. That's right. Best time ribbon. Okay, so as you all leave this area, Eris, aim for Wim, and you head towards presumably the front, as Eris is taking you free of all of this, we travel. The camera stays in this junction as Robert of Sedaris' life leaves him, and as we pan through the villa just 100 yards to the north, we see Dusa. As Dusa, you're still carrying Commander Fofri. She's quiet. She's using her kind of crutch sparingly on this tile. She doesn't want to send out raps, so she's lending a little bit more weight to you. You all begin to go around, and as you curl through the hall, which direction had you opted to go? You were
left.
You reached out with your
open door. Yeah, creeping up. Giving her another warning look and raising his finger to his lips.
You see that there is a window open in this small study. Almost like it's a window that has the French door type of binders to close it, windows to close it. And when you look out, roll me an awareness.
All right. Okay. Oh, yeah.
Crit.
The critical. Oh, yes. That's a 33 plus the 4.
The first thing you can tell is there is a rope tied to like the kind of the decorative ledge here that makes kind of like a pseudo balcony when you're looking out this window. You can tell that the rope is woven in an elvish design, as it's kind of cross braided, strengthened in with these specific knots. And as you look out and over, you can see the destroyed patio that you actually never went out on, that you cut away from before you left moments earlier. You see a massive creature, a cyclops of legend, as it is waving back and forth, still standing, still propped up by the memory of life. And as it kind of moves back and forth, you see 4 riders ride up a frozen bit of ice and fog to the very edge of the solarium. And then you see them ride to the roof as they begin to ride across the pitch of the roof of the villa. And you can hear these hollow, kind of almost poignant, pressured footsteps. But like whenever you hear somebody run across ice that has water beneath it, that hollow, almost drum-like thud as the across the roof. And then they are gone. And a moment later, you see what looks to be a flock of white sparrows following and circling behind. These white sparrows have blue glowing eyes, and they whip and spin and aspire, and then follow after the riders.
Well, and he does not see any of his companions there. Just these monsters over in Keep. Okay. Damn it. Guess it's time to find to search somewhere else. So he'll draw away from the window and head down the hall.
Because of your crit too, Dusa, just as you pull away from the window, just as you're about to quit this scene, as the riders have disappeared over the roof, you no longer can see them or the birds that follow them. You see a figure appear in the solarium, separated by 25 feet of air and ice between you and there. And you see Robert of Sidaris as he looks out and he meets your eyes and says, "Go, my friend. There are hounds in here, but find your way clear, friend of Ezren."
All right. He'll get going.
And you leave as Robert of Sidaris waves you away.
I'll salute him before he goes and go.
He salutes you back. When you reach back out, you realize now with your orientation and your critical awareness roll that if you go to the right from here, that will lead you towards the front of the house, the villa.
All right.
Or you can continue to circle around, but that would you because of your awareness roll, you know that's going to ultimately take you to that patio.
Okay. He'll pick up the pace and try to start heading towards the front.
Okay, so you're able to go through. Are you going for speed or stealth at this point, my friend?
Stealth.
Okay, roll me a stealth.
Considering what's here, it's going to be stealth if the place is crawling with hunting hounds.
Gotcha. I like
it.
Let's
And
roll.
he, as a hunter, he does not like this hunted feeling. That's a 24.
24. Okay, as you're going through, you retrace your steps, and by the time you get past where the wine cellar was, the wine room, you can see that those padded icy blue footprints that you had seen going in this direction have all but faded. You can still see them, but you know that this creature probably passed by some time ago, relatively speaking, for the footprints to almost be invisible again or absent. You get around and you kind of curve around the front of you take an L in the hallway above you, and ahead you see Ainfra, Wim, and Eris as they round a corner in this large bullseye-esque villa. And from one end of the hallway, you see your three friends, Ainfra, Eris, and Wim. You see Dusa carrying, if the dress is to be, the armor is to be believed, it is a Nilfgaardian warrior.
Hey!
Wim stays silent and just trucks forward faster.
All right. Yeah, not a good time to speak. He'll follow.
You all make it to the front of this villa, and you see the grand entrance. Normally it would be open because of the nice weather that you were having. The front doors are still wide open, but Dusa, you would see some blue footprints heading out the front door.
Wait. I'll point to the footprints on the floor. That's one of their hounds. They're bigger than the average hound.
To put it mildly.
Yeah, we need horses.
Need horses or we need to run. I'm going to push out the front with my bow, ready to shoot trouble that I see.
When you go out the front, you can see that there is the Duke's carriage. His large, almost stagecoach type of vehicle has been brought around. There is an 8-horse team that is tied to this. But now it looks more statue than means of conveyance, as all 8 horses, the stagecoach, and in the back of the stagecoach, Robert of Sedaris are all frozen solid.
Ainfra has a moment. Just tilts her head and then just shakes it.
Greg,
Shrugs.
can I locate horses of any kind that are still
Yeah, no
living,
roll,
breathing?
no roll required here. You see a stable off to the right.
Doesn't even acknowledge who died. Doesn't care. Moves straight towards the horses.
Oh
Gonna
no.
try and while everyone else is doing things, and I'm gonna try and I'm gonna just move as quickly. Fuck stealth. Like arrow nocked, ready for trouble. That's me.
Okay. So as you roll out, is anybody going with Eris? Dusa, Ainfra, Wim?
Wimwood.
He's just gonna hang back since he's got a wounded. Somebody wounded.
Then roll me an awareness, Ainfra and Dusa.
$23.
Oh, another critical. That's great. That's
You're on
awesome.
fire.
That's so good. Oh, yeah. It's 37. The +4 is in there now.
Okay. With a mere 37
Breakthrough.
then, right?
He's got the adrenaline pumping. His nostrils are flaring.
Well, with that heightened senses as your nostrils flare, Dusa, you hear from behind and above you that sound of hoof steps. And you doubt that these are reindeer, even though it's cold outside and everybody would like a present.
I look to Ainfra. They're on the roof with horses.
I made a promise. Ainfra's gonna step. Is that like a portico?
Yeah, sure.
Cool. Step outside, but not out from underneath the portico.
Okay.
And just enough to see if she can get a glimpse of any of this.
You can't see anything, but now because Dusa's pointed it out, you can hear it. You can hear this approach.
Just get out of here, Ainfra.
Alright. Ainfra's gonna run as fast as she can to the stable.
Okay.
And then turn back when she gets there.
Roll an endurance for me as you take off running. Eris, when you get to the stable, you open it up, and there are 2 flash frozen horses and 8 horses that appear to be very aware that 2 of them are flash frozen. They are all skittish as hell. None of them are tacked or saddled, though.
Can I see what killed them in the room?
No.
Is there any way it could hide in the room? As in, like, behind cover? Like, if it has other means of hiding, sure, but I'm specifically asking if it could be hiding behind cover.
Yeah, there's plenty of, like hip-sized or even mid-chest sized stalls that could hide something. They're solid slats, so you can't really see through them. But what the telltale giveaway here is your vibrating medallion.
Switch out to my daggers, and the one that I used my rune on is sort of like burning hot in my hand, and I'm just going to rush through the room, fully anticipating that I'm going to be ambushed as I do so. But I gotta get us at least 2 horses. We need at least 2 horses.
Okay. So as you take off and run through, Wim, you get to, like, we're going to say that your brother gets to the threshold, a beat, the weapons are changed, and then, go ahead. Eris?
I will cast Quen for the first time ever.
Okay. You see him and you can feel the magic as he casts Quen. As you reach the threshold of the stable, your bear medallion begins to vibrate on your chest. Again, no Witcher need be reminded that that is the presence of monster or magic. Your brother's magic wouldn't set it off to this degree either.
Instinctively watching Eris cast Quen, he will also cast Quen and then go into the room with knuckles on, looking around.
Okay. I would like each of you to roll a stealth roll, even though I know you're not being stealthy.
Yeah.
This is...
So, I realize something that I've been missing out. Because it's not come up before. My armor actually gives me a bonus to stealth that I have never once included, because I completely forgot, because it's not the first thing.
You remembered now, and that's all that counts.
Yeah. So,
So as the two brothers go rushing into the stables, the intent to grab at least 2 horses to get them away from the scene. As they rush in, Wim a beat behind his brother a bit more fleet of foot. But as the target runs in, Wim, you bear witness to this ball of icy blue and white fur that explodes out of one of the stalls. You see frost tracing from its mouth, its muzzle stained pink. It is going to smash into your brother. That's going to be a 27 to hit.
can I dodge?
You sure can, yeah.
Okay. Okay. All right. Fuck that.
Sensing the arrival of this massive creature, you are able to forward roll out of the way, your momentum taking you just away from this pink muzzle. But as the creature hits the ground, and as this member of the Frosted Pack pads its nails, striking some of the stone used to clean horseshoes, there is a crack and a peal of a frost birth. Each of you are going to take 12 cold damage that pierces and that does not get abated by armor. And you see 2 of the nearby horses get turned into statues. From muzzle and back, you see their wide eyes freeze and kind of form diodes inside of the skull as everything gets flash frozen. Ainfra, you get to the barn just in time to bear witness to this whoosh, as this ice appears everywhere, and you see you don't get hit by it, it's out of your range, but Okay. Eris and Wim, you're the ones that take the brunt of this frozen attack, but you have this creature in your midst right now, and I am going to allow Wim, who bore witness to this, you're going to go next in the initiative order, my friend.
All right. So after it was this like an ability that this thing had, and it's still standing in front of
It
us?
is. It's standing on a pack of almost glass of ice that has kind of spread out around it like a radius around it.
Okay. I'm going to do 2 quick grapple attacks on its dumbass body.
So this is essentially the Hulk versus the Fenris Wolf in Thor Ragnarok. I'm here for it.
Okay. No. Sorry, a lot of stuff got to go through.
Yeah, you got it with the first one.
And so with that, with the lead arm, I want to grab like the what mom dogs pick up their baby dogs by, that little area between the neck and the shoulders. Yeah, and kind of lift it up and place its head facing in another direction and brace it so it's sandwiched between Eris and I.
Okay, so you are gonna hold and kind of redirect the dog between the two of you, but in a way that its head is pinned up.
Yeah, so its head, if it wants to come back and bite my arm, it can try, but it won't bite any other vital parts of Eris or I, and then kind of prepping it for Eris to have an easy go.
Ah, gotcha. Eris, your brother has picked up this wolf. Again, this is a successful grapple attack. You have it for now. This is the proverbial, catching a wolf by the tail.
What kind of bonuses do I get? Or what kind of, like, will it be a negative to try and dodge? Or do I get a bonus to hit? Like,
it's a base DC of 15 because it can't dodge whenever you're attacking.
Base DC of 15?
Yeah.
Fantastic. Calling a headshot. Calling a headshot. Small blades, same blade. This is gonna be, where is it? No, with my, there it is. Headshot.
And while this is rolling, Ainfra, you have a moment to convene or communicate with Dusa in any way that you would like. Dusa's still in the house. If you would like to do so or make any action other than that, let me know.
She's just going to yell back, "Run. Get here," as loudly as she can. She's keeping one eye on what's going on, but she knows that Wim's controlling Winter Puppy, and now, but she's looking for the riders that she heard.
And using your awareness was which I was going to cut over to. You had some pretty baller rolls. You can see 4 riders coming over the crest of the roof as they begin to descend towards the grand entrance of the villa. 27 is going to be a crit, my friend. Roll me some damage and times it by 3.
That is 11. That's 33. And what's the difference between a strong strike and a fast strike?
Strong strike is done at -3, but you get to double the damage.
Well, if you check the math, I just rolled a 9. I rolled really high, but that was a strong strike, so that's doubled, and it's called headshot. So
So 22 times 3 is 66.
Yeah. Plus 50% burn, 50%, 25% bleed, and it's a meteorite weapon.
So as the brothers dispatch a creature of legend, and as a member of the Frost Pack has its skull split upon the mortal plane, or at least the plane of the continent, for the first time, perhaps ever, this creature goes slack in your arms, Wim. You can feel the life leave it. However, you begin to feel it violently convulse. You can see it, and you see a fog begin to roll out of the wound that split its skull. It is a bitter cold, a bitter frost, and it begins to flop almost like an electrified and grounded fish. It's faster and faster, its muscles arcing and palsying, and you can see it against that ice that it made.
As this is happening, this may take a couple of seconds. His instant reaction would be to like spin with his hips and try to chuck it through the wall of the barn or the stable.
My friend, I'm going to absolutely allow that because it's dope as hell. However, I'm going to allow you to pump. If you give me 10 stamina, I'm going to let you ard this thing out of here.
Yeah, hold on. Let me, oh yeah, I got it. Your 10, that stamina's yours.
I take it. Okay.
So he grabs it and kind of spins around with his hips, kind of lets it go for a second in the air as like a lob, and then does the sign, odd, and then blows it through the wall.
And through the wall it goes as it gets punched 10, 15, 20, 25 yards away from the stable. There is a pound-sized hole in the wall here of the frozen boards. As you blast it out with your magic, it continues to flop, electrified in midair, and when it hits the ground 30, 35, 40 yards and continues to roll and slide along the frozen ground, there is an explosion, silent, as it and a newly formed ice forest in a 25-foot area appears as you see these frozen ice teeth appearing out of the ground, each of them between 5 and 25 feet in length.
All right, let's get on those horses.
Dusa, you were making your run, correct?
He was still in the doorway.
Right. So I turn now to JF. JF, you heard Ainfra yell to run. You have not lost the sound of the clip-clops on the roof. What do you do, my friend?
All right. Well, he's a bit surprised. He was expecting like some kind of portal right now. So when he sees Ainfra go streaking across the yard, he'll follow. But I mean, he can't run because he's got somebody.
Okay, so you begin.
He'll try to go as fast as he can at that point.
Roll me an endurance.
Well, that's a 6 plus 4 plus 20.
So as you're running and realizing that stealth is out the window, Commander Fofree, she's using that crutch now as she's pounding it into the ground, and the two of you are running. You're kind of soldier carrying her as she's pounding her crutch into the ground. You can tell by the sweat on her brow that she must be in exquisite pain, but she's continuing to run. It's just as you kind of get almost to the barn that you see that ice forest appear and that wolf explode and form said ice forest. Everybody, you have 6 horses in this barn, all of them in various states of fright. None of them are tacked or saddled. You all get there in time. What do you do?
I am going to unashamedly Legolas my way onto that horse. Just in like the most like nope, need to be out of here situation. It almost looks like I'm being played in reverse, but I'm going to just on the nearest horse, and I am going to try and not get bucked off and hold out an arm to aim for her, because she's not in armor and I'm not the strongest, and I look to Wim like, grab another horse, and I'm gonna start like, we need to get out of here. That's my move.
Okay. Wim?
Ainfra would take the arm and swing up behind you, and but she's still keeping an eye out for those riders if she needs to.
Sure. At this point, you're all inside the stable, so you have like, let's do a little cinematic effect here. As you look back towards the villa, one of the large doors is slowly swinging open and closed. And when it swings open, the roof is completely clear, closed. And it swings open and you see 4 riders looking at the stable. Wim? Dusa?
So sorry, Deuce, if you had something.
Well, you can go first. Go for it.
As Aris is Legolasing up there like a goof, I'm going to look at the 2 best horses closest to me, cast Axie on one, Axie on the other, grab their reins, and kind of pull them out of the stable. Yell, point at Dusa, and point at one horse, and then I'm going to get on the other horse by myself.
Roll spell casting for each of your ones, and I will allow you to pick which Axie recipient you give to Dusa and which one you keep for yourself.
Okay.
And just do basic when it asks you. It won't give you the thing there, but if you do spell casting, it'll.
Okay. Okay. So I'll do this first roll for Deuce's pony.
Critical
Hot
success.
Diggity dang. And just for good measure.
28.
And then for mine.
Oh boy. Okay.
Still good. Yours is a little bit more, has a little bit more fire left in it, fright, but Deuce's calms immediately. It seems perfectly fine with the situation of its frozen brethren, its frozen friends, the explosion in the ice forest, the decidedly different turn of events here at the Villa of Bremavord. And Deuce, you are given a completely calm and ready to ride horse.
Okay. Oh, so that's what Axie does? I thought it stuns. So you can also charm people with it or calm them. Okay.
It's if it's against I think what they say is a sentient or an intelligent creature, then you have to have some type of resist roll to it. But the horse is not going to fight this. It would kind of like a sedative right now.
All right. He'll get the captain on the horse, help her on, and then get on behind her.
Yeah, she reaches down and kind of helps you up as well. You are on the horse. Eris is on his horse. Wim, you are on your horse. Do you ride out the front or do you ride out the back of the stable?
I'm gonna grab hold of the mane as the first one who was mounted up, grab hold of the mane of my horse, and I'm gonna whisper to the horse, "You get me out of here, I'll give you a fucking name." And I'm gonna cast Axie at what remains of the wall that he already blew a hound through, and I'm gonna just try and get the horse to ride straight out the side. Fuck going through those doors.
Okay, I'm going to allow, this is all flash frozen, so frozen wood. Yes, Ainfra?
Because I'm riding behind Eris, he would feel the instant moment that she casts Squen around her, who's behind him, but like kind of keeping an arm on him, but not impeding his hold on the
Gotcha.
And guess what, Greg? I'm gonna put 12 of my stamina in that.
Okay, good. So, with the combination of Witcher signs, Quinn, and Ard, as you all move forward, you blast out of the back of the stable in what exactly Butch and Sundance should have done. You went out the back. And, of course, they couldn't do that. We know, everybody's. But I can make a joke. You ride out, and as the three of you thunder out onto this frozen area, I need just one more roll, everyone. I need a ride roll from Eris, from Wim, and from Dusa.
Alright, no, okay. Well, would it help at all if,
You've got luck.
yeah, I got luck. I guess I'll just put my luck into it. Let's see. Who the hell is writing here?
Oh, and Dusa, you get a +5 to this because of the crit that was used to calm your horse.
I'm gonna pump the rest of my luck into this roll.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Sure.
put some luck in there. I'm gonna put half of it. So
Oh, there it is. There it is.
Fucking horse whisper.
so the +4 is in there already, and some luck. Oh wow.
Nice. So you all absolutely oh my god, roll it again, man. Just keep going.
Wow.
So that's a 46.
Is that the highest roll we've had?
That's the highest
No,
we've had.
No, I had a 52 when I was climbing up that wall.
Oh, that's right. Okay, yeah, I gotta write that down. 52 wall whim. So okay. So the three of you, the three horses, the four of you bust out of the back of this stable. As you're riding, the only one of you not having to make this ride check, Ainfra, as you look back, you can see the four riders on top of the building, on top of the villa. But it is through the front doors where you see a fifth larger figure walk out. And this figure has a crown that it wears. But it's also carrying something else. As you see Ezren of Rhilestilen pushed in front and to the ground. And as Ezren hits the ground and looks up, you see the flesh shimmer and the Doppler that was masquerading as Ezren appear. And Ainfra, you shouldn't be able to hear this. The distance, the rumbling of the horses, the breath, the labored breathing, the witchers in full flight, never having left a scene with quite this much promise. You hear the voice of the one with the crown say, "So, you're not the real one. But I bet." And two blue eyes look your way. "I bet they know." And my friends, the hunt has started. And that is where we will end this session of The Witcher. Yay! I love everybody. Lindy, sorry to leave you on the floor.
I'm good.
Let's start with Lindy. Lindy, my friend, we will start with you next week.
Oh boy. I'm only talking to dead or potentially imaginary people. It's fine.
Where can we find you online, my dear friend?
You can find me online, just freaking out about tonight's episode, waiting for next week's. Is it Wednesday yet? At Laugh Love Lindy on Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, etc. Playing and GM a lot of tabletop RPGs. Monday and Tuesdays, my channel's D&D. You can find me back here on Tales from the Grim Friday afternoon for some super cool sci-fi stuff. And normally on Saturdays with Prax for Pirates, but I don't think I'm gonna be making it this week. I've been kidnapped there, so it's fine. Watch my rescue attempt there.
Fantastic. Let us jump up to Billy. Billy, my friend, how are you and where can we find you online?
I'm dandy. I got a crap on deck that could choke a donkey.
I forgot.
I've been holding it in this whole fucking, and I love all y'all. This was an action-packed episode. This was really fun time. I love it. I love like Whim's built for combat, but I love being able to do like different stuff. Like I love ideas and strategy in combat, and it's awesome. This crew works really, really well together, and it's super fun every time. If you like internet stuff and apparently poop jokes, you can find me at Bill of the Forest on the internet. If you like that stuff. If you don't, who the fuck cares? I'll be in other stuff here soon. I had a Simbroom campaign. Greg and I just had the finale on WebDM yesterday. Some other stuff will be coming up that I'll tell you about later. And if you want to play World of Warcraft with me, yeah, just hit me up. That's it.
Oh, fantastic, my friend. Let's go up to Prax. Prax, how are you? Where can we find you online?
Thanks for letting me follow that.
I can't talk. Go ahead.
Okay. This was great. Thanks, Greg. Also, sorry, y'all. I killed the Cyclops for you, but, I kind of felt it was appropriate thematically. The classicist, just pulls in, destroys Polyphemus. It's fine. I'm sure that's not gonna be a problem at all. But hey, y'all, you know me. I'm at Georgia Donlan on Twitter, Praxagorth Esmiaphoria, as you see me around on Twitch. And as for me, you can find me tomorrow over on my channel. Oddly enough, reading the Aeneid. Thematically appropriate, if you don't know. We're into book 6. We're discussing and reading. You can also find me tomorrow night playing Sisterhood of the Magical Blade, an OVA game, which is basically anime game, magical girls, swords, killing monsters, and apparently being really snarky to monsters who've been trapped as a off-brand soda can for a number of generations. Like you do. And then Friday over on Wandering DM for the continuation of Cyberpunk Red, which is a very different campaign, and I love it so much, very much. And on Saturday over on Wandering DM at 1 p.m. Eastern, like Lindy said, we have Black Flag, our Rapscallion campaign, where I get to run things. And yeah, unfortunately, our poor Josephine, the light's on, but nobody's home at the moment, and they're in the middle of the ballroom. This could go really well or really badly. Who knows? But check my Twitter because I always post I'm going to be, all the games I write, all the fun people like these wonderful people that I get to play with and talk to and hang out with. And hi, I'll talk to you next time. I can't wait to see where this goes.
See, you did a great job. You did a great job. Speaking of Cyberpunk, before I forget about it, I will let everybody know that either if we are so blessed to make it to episode 30 or 35 in our Witcher Family of Wraiths campaign, we are going to have a standalone Cyberpunk episode with the characters that you see only in the Cyberpunk universe, and I am getting art by Anna Dunn for this, which is a recreation of all of your characters, and it's a gift for me to me. So this is my vision of what I think your characters would look like in the Cyberpunk universe. So we'll have fun doing that. Let's go over to JF. Let's start with JF, my friend. How are you? Where can we find you online? And again, like I think Josh said it best, always outmanned and never outgunned. Dusa. How are you, buddy?
I'm good. That was crazy. Very hard session for me because my light was bugging and I could not fix it. And I'm a lighting technician, so this is hard. That was hard. But I did enjoy it. There was some crazy, I love the parallel editing there, suspenseful. Though when I got to the window, I think Dusa was almost ready to jump out, because it was like, whoa.
It's a good jumping window, can confirm.
Yeah, there you go. You can find me on City of Light and Shadow on Friday with Foxhole. A lot of fun doing resistance, anti-Nazi stuff. Other than that, I love playing with these people. They dazzle me every time. So looking forward to the next one.
Awesome, buddy. Awesome. And last but certainly not least, Josh, who you experienced the Wild Hunt with the only one with more knowledge than most in the Viper Witcher eras. How are you, my friend? Where can we find you online?
It was an episode. I can't stop thinking about I've been going around in my head and like the Wild Hunt is terrifying and all this stuff, but genuinely, y'all have seen The Mandalorian, just the idea of like Dusa just standing there surrounded by like so many fucking problems. Zweihander, like one hand, bottle of Raspberry Crush in the other hand. I like those odds, and just like absolutely, I don't know how he's alive, but like he is, and he's amazing. It's amazing. So many amazing moments. I will be obviously back next week, but in the meantime, if you want to find me, you can find me over on Friday on a kind of roleplay where I'm in a new campaign called Eclipse. We've only had one episode so far. It's in Urban Shadows. It's political. It's modern day LA in an alternate universe, and I have leaned into this one hard, and the DM, like, when you lean into a door expecting it to be locked, and the DM just opens the door and it's like, no, by all means, come through. And I'm like, oh god, I have made a monster. I am playing a very interesting character. So that's me. Other than that, other news, follow me on Twitter. I will be moving home soon, so I will be in much more shows up and coming, and I'm looking forward to it. So I'll see you all soon everywhere. You won't be able to get rid of me. I'll be spreading like the hunt, just all over. It's gonna be great.
Fantastic, my friend. Fantastic. As for me, I am Grimjack21502 on the Twitter, Tales from the Grim here on the Twitch. I am so blessed to have the viewers, the Legion, who are as invested and as much a part of this story as the players, myself. You create fantastic advantages for the players. You help them get through. Silver, +2, healing, those change the course of campaigns, and you all have done so. Especially, we've had the addition of Yennefer has been in this time. We still have more that are popping up, and of course the Wild Hunt and the advance of Nilfgaard changes the campaign completely. Those are all things that I did not do. They were done by the Legion. And if you are watching on YouTube, if you ever want to get involved and can't make a live session, reach out on YouTube. We'll figure out something. You are just as much a part of this collective narrative as everybody else. You are watching, you are contributing. We appreciate and love you so much for doing that, because now is a time of stories that need to be listened to, stories that we can tell, stories that can calm, and stories that can direct and engage. And that is a time that we need to focus all of our attention on, whether it be creative, passionate, political, or all of the above. And that's as political as I'll get right now, but I just want to say that everybody pay attention to what's going on, pay attention to the storytellers, all of yourselves included. This is an odd time, one that can be depressing. So if you ever want to join with somebody and just talk it out, join our Discord below, come and talk. And I swear that whenever you get there, you will meet the fantastic members of the Legion, this cast. They will make your day better. They will make your story better for that moment, day, second that you are sharing with us. As for the channel, on Friday afternoons, we have Aether's Walkway. It is a masterpiece in cyberpunk storytelling, gifted to us by Alice from Scraticus Academy, and with several of the familiar faces and friends that you have seen on this channel. Of course, Lindy is there, and we have a lot of fun on that one. Please join us, but make sure you are back here. We are having episode 22 next week, and I can say that we are now definitely going to get our next guest next week. And so with that being said, I hope very much, if schedules work out, that Matt will be joining us next week and you can all finally meet Harold of Oxenfurt, who is one of the dopest characters in the history of ever. So I can't wait for all that. It'll be a lot of fun joining this fantastic crew, all part of a family, all part of a legion, all part of a story. But take care, everyone, and as the campfire goes down, there's only one thing left to say. Can't always roll nat 20s, but you can always role play. We'll see you next time, friends.